And we are live. That is right. Good evening, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym and the Crypto episode 400. Hey, 400. I heard the way you put the little. I heard the sauce you put on it. Cheers to our warriors.
Oh yeah.
Cheers, of course, to Bitcoin Zone.
Oh yeah, we are back.
All those who have been with us. I think we got started in about like May or June of 2017. It was about almost a year after we started up in business together, Bitcoin Zay and I. But 400th episode.
Oh yeah.
Again, folks, we're gonna be unrolling a lot of great stuff coming out this summer toward the end of the year. So we do need a little break to get some of that up to date. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about these top stories. I know you all want to hear. We're going to be talking about the giant telecom AT&T now accepting crypto payments, copyright registrations that Craig Wright tried to file for the Bitcoin white paper, Ryan Kavanaugh's media firm, which secured a $100 million investment for his crypto project, Russia's central bank considering gold-backed cryptocurrencies, Robinhood zero-fee trading app launched in New York, and Representative Eric Swalwell is now accepting crypto donations in bid for U.S. presidency. Basically, everything we told you would come in 2017. We're going to talk about it today. But first, do we have any crypto coin winners or anything like that? What have we missed?
No crypto coin winners today, but an update. Everybody needs to send an updated address who has won in the past few weeks. Send an updated address if you're watching today. Send it to our email. We'll drop that on there today. Or you can send it directly for people on Facebook. Yep. So make sure you send that updated address, and we got you.
That's for that updated crypto coin address. Mm-hmm. And hey, even if you haven't won any crypto coin yet, send us your address anyway and say you're just trying to learn how it works.
We'll send you some.
We'll send you some regardless to make sure you got that up and running.
Oh, yeah.
I want to give some shout out to our warriors. Everybody's in. What's going on, Tessa? Shout out to Tessa. Actually, one of Tessa's, I believe one of her friends had us on for an interview this past weekend for their virtual blockchain summit they'll be doing this summer.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to Tessa. Thanks for that. Jamal J out of New York, what's going on? We're still waiting for that movie to come out, Jamal. Tony Nolly, what's going on? A-Dub the God. Calvin Washington. Thanks, Calvin. Said been supporting us for years. We truly appreciate it.
We appreciate it, man.
D. Shiron, Jizzy Mack, Milto, Allison Thompson. Milto already started, says Swalwell is a jerk. we'll be talking about him soon.
Yeah, we'll holler at him in a second.
Antonio, what's going on? Antonio from the UK. You know, he holds us down on the other side of the pond. Sergeant Crypto, Cornelius Broadux. Yes, we are live.
All the shout outs.
All right, without further ado, the top story of the day, people. I mean, come on. We don't even need to talk about how huge this is, yet we're going to anyway.
Oh, yeah. All day.
U.S. telecoms giant AT&T. That is right. The service giant AT&T, the place where you only get service inside the store. AT&T is now accepting crypto payments via BitPay.
Oh yeah.
Hey, way to be the one to jump off the ledge, AT&T.
That's
seriously.
how you do it.
That is how you lead the way. What's going on with this story?
Oh yeah. Well, it looks like AT&T will join a host of other services such as Overstock and DirecTV to accept Bitcoin. They will be doing it through BitPay. So they will accept actually Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So they have found a small use case because of BitPay. BitPay is a service where you can pay with Bitcoin and it automatically transfers it to cash for a small fee. A lot of big name people are using it because BitPay has been trusted. They did the Bitcoin Bowl in 2014, and now they're helping AT&T, the telecom giant, actually accept Bitcoin. So for those of you who have family members who say, well, who accepts it? Well, AT&T.
You can't pay your bills with it. Can't pay your bills with Bitcoin. Was that last year we were being told?
I think that was just a few months ago.
What was it months ago? You can't pay your bills with Bitcoin.
They literally, just lining up to figure out how to accept Bitcoin now. Now that one person jumps off the ledge.
Oh, AT&T did it.
Come on. we know these commercial companies don't have original thought in their head. All they do is wait for somebody to do it, and then they jump in right behind it because they copy, and that's basically how they make their money. So BitPay will be processing services for them and their merchants, and they basically was like, any customer can use what they want. We just want our money. That's basically how the spokesperson put it. It was like, yeah, if Bitcoin is viable, we'll use it. So shout out to AT&T, man.
Hey, shout out to AT&T. And we'll get more into this. A couple of comments real quick because I'm seeing some hilarious comments already. First, Antonio said, happy belated Bitcoin Pizza Day.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. What's going on, Morpheus Mine? Sergeant Crypto said, yo, I thought y'all cashed out and bought an island during this mini bull run. Listen, the thought crossed our mind this time. I was like, look, we done made it back home safe again, brother. You want to go back down this road again?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had to recharge for a second because we already know what was coming.
We had to recharge. We know what's coming. And again, once this trading starts, people, it's a 24-hour cycle for those who are serious traders. So
yeah.
Bitcoin, as they said many times, you make 80% of your money 20% of the time in this market. Mm-hmm. And as you see, we can go on an 18-month bull market. So when it's time to actually turn to traders again and get back on the business side, like you have to take advantage of that.
Have to do it.
But yeah, so going back to this article, as you said, these institutions, these companies, you say it all the time, they don't have original thought in their head.
No.
So this is almost a twofold, I guess, question and statement. First of all, will we see other companies? I'm thinking Verizon now. I'm thinking
Sprint.
T-Mobile, Sprint. Yeah. Are we going to see them adopt this as well? I take that back from AT&T. I'm sorry. That's Sprint who only has service when you're in their store. That's not AT&T. But are we going to start seeing, or will we begin to start to see some of these companies do this as well, piggyback? And then I guess the second thing is something we need to pay attention to in the crypto community when we're talking about these companies and what type of power and influence they have over the community. BitPay.
Yeah.
If companies continue to go down this route, let's say AT&T did now, we get Sprint, we get Verizon, we get regular institutions, all these people. Right now, BitPay is the premier source to go for an institution to have their money exchanged to crypto and back. And we even talked about that, how they basically we were cut off from BitPay. They cut off the mom and pops. They said they only wanted the big guys. So
big guys.
Twofold question/statement. Will we start seeing other companies do this? And if so, how much is BitPay going to be worth? Is this $1 billion unicorn as well?
Yeah, I think they've already established themselves on the tech side. I think from making $1 billion, they can definitely do that. Right. But first things first,
they're at $1 billion for sure.
I think we will see other companies adopt this same form of payment. The only thing I think will be different is if they're getting payments in Bitcoin consistently and it's going well. At some point, somebody's going to say, "Well, let's just use our own coin." That's exactly what I think one of these other companies, like I think a few will copy them, then one of them is going to say, hey, let's lay back for a second. Let's just make our own coin and make it so that anytime you want to pay, you have to convert it into our currency. And you can either buy it early and, you can use it later for discounts, or you can use your regular cash. Pretty much everybody's moving away from the U.S. dollar. Just put it like that. So these telecom giants, I think a few will copy, but some will actually move towards their own coin at some point. That makes sense. And actually, going into the future, one of the things I'm interested to see is if people will actually spend Bitcoin, because at some point, if it's more valuable to hold it, people are like, I'm not giving it away to AT&T.
So I was just about to say that. Well, my thing is, I can't wait until the day where we see places like AT&T. What's going to happen finally when Bitcoin does cross that 20K mark again? Yeah. They're not going to want the USD. Yeah. When that happens, when people like AT&T and Verizon, some of these big companies say, no, not only can you only pay for us in Whole Foods, you can only pay in our native crypto or in crypto in general, or if you do pay in cash or whatever, they're not going to convert it because watch this bull run happen this next one. When they see how quick it happens, how fast it happens, where literally one day, you're on a Monday and your accountant comes in your office like, hey, for every dollar that we keep selling out of our crypto into the dollar, we're losing money on a daily basis. Yeah. When that happens, AT&T is going to be, all right,
just at least in crypto.
50% at least. I think they'll start off probably with 15 to 20% small, but they'll get to the point where they say, all right, forget it. Half of everything stays in crypto. We don't want it in USD. When that moment happens and word gets out, watch the regulators, people. Oh yeah. Wednesday morning. No, if you're a company
who makes a certain amount,
institution make a certain amount, you have to exchange your money into USD. You cannot keep it in crypto. It will become illegal. Watch that happen, and once it does, that's when that tide is really going to turn. You're going to have these billionaires and these institutions on our side say, no, don't tell me how to make my money and what to do with it. Yeah. But that will happen. So for all these people who are crying regulation, watch how it flips on them, because they're going to look at the people making the most money, which will be institutions, and watch, and they're going to be like, hold on, you can't keep this all in crypto unless you get the government some.
Oh, yeah. They definitely going to want their cut.
Shout out to Sergeant Crypto for the tip. Sergeant Crypto said this is a tip for all the knowledge. We appreciate it, as well as the Game I Peep. Thank you for that tip as well.
Thank you.
Game I Peep hooked us up. Cornelius Brodnick said it's going to be extra conversion fees. Listen, the government's going to step in. Once AT&T is going to say, you know what, we're going to keep everything we make, half of everything we make in crypto. The U.S. is going to say, hey, special investigator here. You didn't give us some of your crypto, all right? You might have been doing whatever with your team, but we're special. We need some of that too.
Oh, yeah, you know it.
All right. Copyright registrations do not recognize Craig Wright as Satoshi Nakamoto.
Oh, this man is so corny.
Wow. Listen, I actually gave him credit for the gumption of doing this. But if you've been paying any attention as of late, This development is following the news that Craig Wright filed a copyright registration for the Bitcoin white paper authored under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, who, of course, he claims to be. Of course, many times he's been called a fraud by the likes of who we have over there in Ethereum.
Everybody. Peter McCormick is
Peter
called.
McCormick.
He's getting sued by him right now.
CZ, Vitalik Buterin. So everybody
on
saying,
Twitter, his
right.
mom, everybody. Fake Toshi, whatever you want to call
all these people.
Yeah.
But it looks like these copyright registrations for the Bitcoin white paper and the Bitcoin source code by the United States Copyright Office do not mean that Australian computer scientist Craig Wright is recognized as Satoshi Nakamoto by the government, the Financial Times reported on May 22nd. So Craig Wright basically came in. He actually filed a copyright clause, I guess, to get, as you can see, control of the Bitcoin white paper as well as the source code. And while a lot of people knew this would be far-fetched, we were kind of going back and forth as we were beginning the show. The scary thing about this to me was that if the United States had granted him this copyright or granted him the copyright whether to the white paper or source code, I would have loved to seen how not only the crypto community, but the larger community as a whole react. Because at the end of the day, as much as we all know is Fugazi, how much has everybody been listening to regulations and what the government says every Wednesday morning when they come up with a new law, right? Yeah. So I would love to have seen the crypto community, everybody, especially all these other people who are coming in from other professions with money, who are literally just trying to like weasel their way in almost. I would love for them to, because those are the main people who say we need regulations, we need government, we need this. I would love to see the look on their faces when they wake up and it's like, oh, well, guess what? Since you say you need all that, this same government just said Satoshi Nakamoto is now Craig Wright, and he owns everything. Yeah, that would have been interesting to see.
Well, that honestly, it couldn't happen because intellectual property wise, he would have to prove it. There's only one way to prove it. He has to sign the private key. Right. So they could say what they want. That's Thomas Edison didn't make anything either, but his name is on different patents. So
that's true.
That's literally just like a crypto Thomas Edison right now. He can anytime you have a pseudonym name where you claim that you're that person, the only way to prove it is with the intellectual property of the thing you claim for. Can't do it right now, Craig Wright. And right now, as far as keeping his name out there, he's definitely able to do it. We're talking about him right now. He's a genius at being able to get people to talk about him when he hasn't actually done anything. He's literally just stirred up the pot. He's got people's panties in a bunch, and most people just don't like him. But at the same time, keep talking about him, keep giving him recognition. And I'm sure he's got some Bitcoin stash somewhere. Who knows where? Who knows how much? But yeah, he's took on all comers at this point, and I don't think Craig Wright really cares. Craig Wright, people don't like this. He's just gonna do what he does.
Craig Wright is a Trump of the community. He's like, I would take you all on one by one. Shout out to Allison Thompson. Hey, thanks for the tip. We truly appreciate it as well.
Thank you.
Milto said, Wright, great marketing ploy. Antonio saying Craig Wright operates with multiple security when he's visiting his office in London because so many people have hate for him. But to kind of go along with what you said, it turns out the claim actually has no basis in reality. When the Copyright Office receives the application for registration, it does not investigate the truth of any statement made in that application, nor identify the identities of people registering for copyright. The office told the Financial Times, in a case in which a work is registered under a pseudonym, the Copyright Office does not investigate whether there is a provable connection between the claimant and the pseudonymous author. So again, this was a scary part to me, people. When everybody's talking government, you have to listen to them. You have to listen to the regulations. Even when we literally on this journey, if you just followed us on this show, we have seen on this journey the government outright lie, manipulate, steal, and do illegal acts, as well as some of these big name bankers.
Part of the game,
basically make it so that we can't trust them. But there was literally an opportunity here for, again, it didn't have to be Craig Wright. Let's say is anonymous person 20 off the street who found out. Let's say Bitcoin Zay and I did it. Yeah. We filed this thing to the Copyright Office. They're telling you we're not checking the work under the pseudonym. They're saying, hey, these guys seem legit. They know what they're talking about. We're going to give it to them. Do you understand how scary that is? Especially the way people blindly follow the government and their regulations when in regards to cryptocurrency. Yeah. Like we literally almost gave away the whole Bitcoin project. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. I'm about to register as Basquiat and then
hilarious.
see if they'll let me go forward with his artwork.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I think where Craig Wright really messed up is a twofold thing. First, he's Australian. I gotta keep it real with you people. You've seen how the US operate when it comes to other people, all right? Yeah. That's true, even with copyright. And the second thing is it seems like he didn't come with any money. That's really what the Copyright Office told me.
Copyright is like $75, man.
well, for one, we know the Copyright Office is kind of a scheme too, because they're basically saying we don't do any investigating, just pay for it,
and you don't get any recognition, really.
Right.
So.
but the second thing is he really didn't come with any money, because they're telling you we don't investigate things, everything isn't clear, yet they denied him, which means he didn't make the right he literally went online and tried to do this thing. He didn't do it where he was calling up people like, hey, how can we push this thing through? Again, that is this scary thing to me, because what if that person does come along with the resources and these connections and want to push this narrative along that, hey, I'm actually Satoshi, or I'm actually so-and-so, or we're talking about the Copyright Office. They might not even know what Bitcoin is still. Like, honestly, you got to fax stuff to them. They might not even know what Bitcoin is. So we're talking about the Copyright Office.
Yeah.
You're Satoshi Nakamoto. You made some type of paper online.
All right.
Cool. Exactly. That's
Cool.
Whatever. Hey, I'm about to get off in 5 minutes. I don't have time. Scary thing, people. And again, to me, this is what that blind allegiance to the government does. Crypto Blood in the house.
What's up?
Crypto Blood with a good tip. Actually, we're gonna have Crypto Blood on here ASAP, people. Crypto Blood, we took a couple of weeks off. That's our fault. But Crypto Blood said, "I'm Satoshi, not no moto." That is hilarious. Did you see that on Twitter?
Yeah, that's Craig Wright for you.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so that's Craig Wright, people. Again, we knew he wasn't going to get her, shouldn't have. But the scary thing is, again, everybody wants to talk about regulations. We have to follow them. We can't do ICOs anymore, even though there was nothing immoral or illegal about it. Yet to that same people we decide to blindlessly listen to, he could have got a copyright registration for all Bitcoin stuff.
Hey, all I gotta say is scammer season must be
it's
upon
back.
us.
Oh, it's back.
I mean, BitConnect is coming back. Craig Wright is out doing copyrights. Oh yeah, it's time, people.
All right, Ryan Kavanaugh's media firm secures a $100 million investment for crypto project. Now, if you're like me, you don't really know who Ryan Kavanaugh is, but I was interested in this because this is one of those ideas that I thought I had until I Googled it, right? United States-based film producer Ryan Kavanaugh, Proxima Media, has unveiled a $100 million investment for a cryptocurrency-based film funding tool. Entertainment industry news outlet The Wrap reported on May 23rd.
Wow.
Per the report, Proxima Media, which Kavanaugh founded and owns, announced plans for a new crypto-enabled financing tool for film, TV, and music, and other intellectual property-driven content dubbed Proxycoin. Now, basically, without going into detail, this is something we've actually covered a few times before. I think, maybe B Token's doing Airbnb, but we had someone on here who was basically trying to do the same thing a couple years ago. And this is going to be a huge part of cryptocurrency where you have entertainment, film, TV, music, how to get this funding and stuff. And of course, it's inevitable that whoever comes up with this, they're going to do their own coin. People, we know this is $1 million wet dream right here. Go ahead and recreate that times 100 return. And it looks like Kavanaugh's doing it, but at least here, I think with his big startup capital he's received, that $100 million, as well as connection, he might be the person to do it right. We'll see.
Oh yeah, and I think him being an executive at Warner Brothers is definitely big because he's produced a bunch of films, including The Social Network with your boy Mark Zuckerberg. He produced 310 to Yuma, Mamma Mia. He's produced good amount of movies, and he's definitely one of the people in Hollywood, along with somebody like Johnny Depp, who's trying to bring crypto into the Hollywood and production space. This is just another, pretty good idea, but of course they want to use their own coin to start it because they would make a lot of money off people buying their proxy coin and then investing in movies or projects that you want. So great idea. We'll see if it comes into place, and I think he may be the guy to do it. So $100 million investment is nothing to sneeze at. Hollywood is coming too, people. Trust me.
Hollywood's coming.
They already created a movie called Crypto, which was terrible. And then they threw crypto.
And we failed.
Yeah, and trash.
Right,
Holla at us, Hollywood.
What do you
execs.
say? And Basura.
Yeah, if you need a producer, man, hey, I could be the Michael Franzese of crypto for you. I can tell you everything you need to know. Get it going. But yeah, these other films and other projects they have going have been kind of poor so far. So hopefully they get some good ones and they raise it using Ethereum tokens. So. And
I'll say this. One thing is I was just talking to Bitcoin Zay about this the other day. There is a multi-billion dollar idea in Hollywood when it comes to crypto, people. It's more about connecting it. For those who don't know, Hollywood still uses checks. Yes. Yeah. Paper checks. And a lot of the actual accounting that goes through Hollywood, I'm talking about films, TV, commercials, actually doesn't go through Hollywood. My running joke is that it is from back in the days when there were real gangsters, like really real gangsters around press and institutions, which I'm sure there still are now, but most of them, or many of them, moved outside the United States. But there are literally payment structures and accounting procedures that go through the likes of Chicago, that go through New York, that go through DC before Hollywood even gets the check for the whatever project they've done. So this is literally an industry that is years behind. It's ran by a bunch of old people. And I say that respectfully, Hollywood. You know I love you. But it's ran by a bunch of old people who are still using checks. I mean, we're not even getting Venmos over here. We're not getting PayPals. They're using checks.
Yeah.
So when you talk about cryptocurrency in Hollywood, cryptocurrency in film, TV, media, it is going to be a huge. I mean, when I say billions, I mean that as a low end number.
Yeah.
It is going to be billions, or will be the base level. Yeah, it's going to be huge, people.
Yeah.
They're using checks. Like, you understand this? They're using checks. They're using checks. I don't know how many more times I can say this.
Hey, in the words of Pomp, the virus is spreading.
Hilarious. Richard Terweem, what's going on? He said, hey, from the land down under. Missed you guys. Hey, thank you. Thank you for welcoming us back.
Glad to be back.
For sure. Russia's central bank to consider gold-backed cryptocurrencies for mutual settlements.
Word.
That is right. Russia's low-key, they turned into China on me. When I first saw this story, first thing I told Bitcoin is, I said, didn't we cover this?
You choose the sides.
And then we realized we did cover it, but I think we haven't covered it since 2017. So you're right. The symptoms of a bull run must be back. But what is Russia talking about now?
Oh, yeah. Well, it looks like the actual central bank will consider the use of a gold-backed cryptocurrency to facilitate international settlements, which will probably be with people like China, maybe Venezuela, who knows. But the governor of the Bank of Russia stated that her institution, they're going to review a proposal for the development of the cryptocurrency, which I will be interested to see if it's an actual cryptocurrency or a stable coin. That remains to be seen.
We already know.
They keep throwing the word cryptocurrency.
We know what
in
it
there,
is.
but
We know
what it is.
We already know Russia.
And, you know, she states here, as for mutual settlements, we will consider, of course, the proposal of a gold-backed crypto, but in my opinion, it is more important to develop settlements in national currency. So those big-time payments banks have to make, where they have to wait, days, and they have to pay big fees. That's going to be their use case for cryptocurrencies. However, long-term, if it's backed by gold or backed by some sort of asset, they'll have investors jump in just because they can say, all right, well, our money is backed by something. But wouldn't it be interesting to see China, Russia, even like a Bulgaria, who has a lot of Bitcoins, basically put their all into Bitcoin, and then they back it by gold.
Would be beautiful.
That would be a whole new financial system, and they'd be like, well, we can prove we're gold back. The U.S. can't. So hopefully we get our act together, because it looks like the other countries are making moves, and Russia's proving that now.
And here's the thing, people. It's kind of like the whole cannabis thing that's going on in the United States. For those who aren't in the United States, right now cannabis had been looked at as crypto, criminal, all the negativity, but now like states are adopting. I mean, hell, Colorado has mushrooms now. Forget cannabis. We moved past that. It's crazy. They got the gateway.
Oh yeah. It'll be a heroin in 2020.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But my point in all of that,
that dog food.
You are literally about to make. I know. Listen, you about to make me forget what I'm about to say. But my point in all of this is why it's always beautiful live, people. It's hilarious. But my point of it is, just like the cannabis community, all it takes is literally one day. Where, as we talk about these Wednesday morning and Friday night and Monday morning laws, our country comes up with, all it takes is for one law or one thing to pass as soon as you wake up. And it's like you're either in the industry and you're moving, or you got left behind because you didn't take the risk, even though it was illegal. But the government I know, it's crazy. Yeah. But my point of all this is, all it takes is one country, one big country. If one country tomorrow morning says, you know what? We're going to do gold-backed crypto. We're going to do a crypto-backed national dollar, whatever, or even insurance. Yeah. Crypto-back anything, gold-back crypto. As soon as a major company goes, country goes along those lines, we're going to see that price blink again. You won't be able to log on. If you don't have accounts or wallets, you won't get them. Yeah. That is literally when it's going to go haywire.
I'm guessing all 2021.
Right, after this happens. So, Antonio said, I met a Russian bankster at a crypto events. He's met Russian banksters at crypto events, and they're looking into the blockchain hard. This story doesn't surprise me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's going everywhere. And shout out to Richard, man. Richard gave me some props for pronouncing his last name correctly. People, I'm terrible. But it was hilarious. I was just like, in my head, I was like, don't mess this up. Don't mess this up.
Gotta get it right.
What's going on, hugging the blockchain? All right, good news. It looks like New York has received the underhanded envelope from another company, because Robinhood zero-fee trading app has officially launched in New York.
Oh yeah, finally.
There we go, Robinhood.
There we go. Yeah, and they actually did this after getting the BIT license in January 2019. So we discussed this before when it happened, and we knew this was, it was coming. I don't know what extra hurdles they had to jump over, but at this point, you can invest in 7 cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, and Dogecoin. So
we keep telling people about that
good
Doge. We keep trying to tell you.
But yeah, it's very very problematic for most traders in New York because of the BIT license. But Robinhood finagled their way up in there, so they'll be able to actually operate in New York. Thanks, New York. I guess I'm tired of looking at New York anyway. But
right.
Good shout out to Robinhood for persevering, pushing through, and
seriously,
doing what you got to do.
Yeah, shout out to Robinhood.
That's a lot of money in New York. You leaving on the table.
Who owns Robinhood? Who's the? Who's the?
I forget the guy's name, but
if we really know, but as you said, the perseverance on that because. Yeah. Again, New York is such a huge again, we were just talking about the whole Craig Wright thing. This is what I mean with the Craig Wright copyright thing, people. Mm-hmm. The fact that the state of New York is keeping companies out of crypto in the state is absurd. It is illegal. It is immoral. And at the very least, it's a monopoly on the government, which should be ran by citizens. And the crazy thing is, I've been to New York to talk crypto. Most people don't know what it is, of course, like many places. But for the ones who do, they want it there. They're okay with it. So for the government and for them to take that stance is crazy.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Sergeant Crypto, man. We know you've been suffering up in New York.
Right, yeah. Sergeant Crypto, Jamal J, all y'all.
Oh, yeah, Jamal J.
Sergeant Crypto said they had to pay the governor and the mayor first. Exact. Oh, you already knew I was going to say it. And
Paul Giamatti had to get his cut.
And, you already know. And
Axe.
and Crypto Blood, I'm laughing at Crypto Blood. You can go back and read his comments if you're on YouTube. I'm telling him not to encourage Bitcoin Zay and that dog.
Yeah, put all the lyrics.
Hey, Crypto Blood from the D, so he already knows what's up.
You know.
All right, last but certainly not least. Looks like Representative Eric Swalwell is accepting crypto donations in a bid for U.S. presidency. That's right. We're going to have another U.S. presidency with at least 30 people you never heard of, and Eric Swalwell is the first one for the day.
Yeah, who are these people?
It looks like I'm kidding, but I'm serious. Looks like Eric Swalwell is accepting donations in crypto to support his bid for the U.S. presidency in 2020. Very interesting enough. I wonder if a lot of people were to donate to him or whoever they donate in crypto, and that price did skyrocket, and the halving did happen and skyrocket even further. How would those donations be taken?
Oh yeah,
that's kind of know what I'm saying.
What they've done is, and because I've read a little bit about these political donations, is that they've stifled it by telling them they have to convert it to cash instantly. They can't hold it. That's the one caveat that they have. For one thing, and if somebody sends over $100 worth of Bitcoin, they have to send it back. Okay. And also too, you can only accept from certain places. So if you have it being sent to your Coinbase account, they may block it from certain accounts that may be deemed money laundering. So they have put those things in place, but they just did it in 2017, I believe. So one of the things it will be interesting to see is if that block becomes something where, okay, you put the word out, oh yeah, I accept crypto for donations. This is my official. But then they have their own special crypto donation that doesn't register. There is no block on that, so they can actually hold it. And then imagine, like you said, if they did have 100 or so Bitcoins chilling, and then later in the future it skyrocketed. They could
or Bitcoin Gold comes out.
Gold, yeah.
Wow,
they could definitely imagine that. Oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure just like college athletes and just like people who need to get paid under the table, they got a crypto address somewhere with money just being sent to
our politicians would never do that, and the fact that you're inferring that they will offends me. I want you to know that. Our politicians and regulators are upstanding, honest people. I believe in all of them. So who we got? Sergeant Crypto, exactly. Kind of going along with what I just said. Sergeant Crypto said, do they return the money when they don't win? Hey, Sergeant Crypto, those are the type of questions that can get you in some real trouble in New York. All right, listen.
I might run for office just to accept crypto donations. Like whatever, it's just free crypto. People just gonna send it to you.
Our politicians and our regulators, they do no wrong, people. Okay, they do no wrong. They're not human. They're robotic. But here you can see right here with the looks like the White Company, which said it uses a Stellar-based stablecoin, has been allowing Swalwell to have instant access to funds. It's hilarious how they put quotes instant. The White Company basically is like, if you get enough of this money in donation, we're gonna hack, son.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Eric doesn't realize that yet. Nor do most of these companies who are kind of holding their funds or their donations in a third party. But
hold that wallet.
How crazy would that be if a whether president, governor, some big position like that won an election, was funded by crypto and donations, but as they won, they were hacked.
Oh yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. But they have to worry about that. Andrew Yang has to worry about that because he's accepting crypto as well. So the names are becoming big enough where, before there have been people that accepted crypto. Rand Paul, a few people from Colorado, Maine, different places. But now that the names are getting bigger and these are presidential candidates that are basically...
Put it on the stage.
Hey, put it on stage. If they mention Bitcoin at a debate, I can go ahead and tell you it was on 60 Minutes.
We didn't even talk about that story today. Bitcoin's on 60 Minutes.
It was on 60 Minutes, so it's not like, it's not moving up the world stage. As soon as it's mentioned on a presidential debate, like I can only imagine a question coming. So what are you going to do about blockchain technology and crypto assets? And you're going to have an answer. I don't want to hear anything from anybody ever again, because if that's on the plate for a leader of a country, then it's on the plate for everybody. You need to know about it. Stop being stupid, people, and just learn something. I mean, just do one YouTube, just the basics. So some people want to remain ignorant. That's fine. But when, the presidential elects are coming in accepting crypto early on, not some like down
you can't
the road.
Pay your bills with it though.
Yeah, they're starting off with it. Yeah, but you can't pay your bills with it. You can't get coffee with it. Whatever.
Well, and the crazy thing as well, when it comes to this, first of all, I want to say I'm upset at President Trump because you're making me lose my bet. He should have mentioned Bitcoin. We didn't go on that bear market, which I'm sure he had a hand in, and not like some straight nefarious way, but more or less like, hey, we need to preserve our national currency. If we didn't go on this bear market, they definitely would have mentioned it already. This second bull market, when we cross this 20K mark,
they ain't gonna stop talking.
They won't be able to, because now it's gonna be like you're the idiot in the room. Yeah. It's gonna be like the LA Lakers when they just hired Frank Vogel, and the first question at the press conference was, Rob, why is Magic talking down to you? They don't care nothing about the head coach. All right, it's gonna be the same thing. When, as you said, you got these people running for president now. I mean, when Bitcoin passes 20K again, it's literally going to be at the next press conference. I don't care if it's that Bitcoin terrorist attack, which may happen after it passes 20K. You can quote us here. But they're not going to care. They're going to say, forget the terrorist attack, forget the war, forget the gas and oil price, forget NASDAQ.
This is what
are your thoughts on this $30,000 a piece Bitcoin? President Trump or whoever's in next, or if he gets it again, right? That's when we have...
Is it a matter of national security?
That is when it's time to take off work for 2 weeks, as we did, and get focused on trading, okay?
Oh, yeah. It might take off work for 2 years.
Right. All right. Morpheus Mind says, 60 didn't give us the details we wanted to see about crypto. Oh, of course not.
Not at all, man.
Listen, I would say for at least for the next year or two, anything that's mainstream crypto, they are going to barely scratch the surface. It's more about introducing people. And from there, it's actually up to us to go on these videos on the internet as we do, go on the YouTube and make those comments on Twitter and say, hey, let me redirect you back to Crypto Blood. Let's redirect you back to Jim and the Crypto, whoever else. Crypto is great people in the space. So that's when there are chances in there to say, hey, 60 is not giving you the full thing. If you want some more information.
That's what we're here for. Stop looking to these people to give you the information.
Right, they're not going to always let you down. They work for the wealthy people.
CNBC lets you down. 60 Minutes is gonna let you down. Fox, everybody's gonna let you down. As soon as you watch it, you're gonna be disappointed. Like, this isn't tell the
Unless
story.
You
Even Vice. Vice didn't do a good
Vice
job.
did a bad job.
I mean, nobody's really gonna be able to tell the story except for the people who are in it, like the people who are part of it, and it has to be genuine, like us. So definitely something to look out for.
And last but not least, we have some great guests that will be coming here as we complete the series of the season of 4. I guess this is our 4th season technically. Every 100, I don't know.
Yeah.
As we go through these 400s, these early 400, we have some great guests lined up.
Great
people.
Guests. Oh, yeah.
So hopefully we can get a few of them on in the next couple of weeks. I mean, these are some of the biggest names in crypto we've been talking to behind the scenes. So hopefully we can have them on and get some of their insights and share. But other than that, again, all the podcast stuff will be updated after the weekend. You can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Radio, iHeart, and of course, catch us here on YouTube. And for the free Cryptic Coin today, what are we doing?
Oh, yeah. So our last milestone was episode 300. Since that episode, what is your favorite episode up to now? Let us know. Easy. Whatever one is your favorite, we'll read the funniest or the best comment. What's your best memory? What have we taught you over the last 100 episodes? We'll choose one and send that free Cryptic Coin.
So best memory, what have we taught you, or what do you like?
Oh, yeah.
From 300 to 400.
Exactly. Make sure you put that address from an updated wallet, people. Update your wallets.
400 episodes, people.
400, man.
Woo! Thanks for joining.
It's been a wild ride.
It's been a wild ride.
Oh, yeah.
As we said, we were hoping to have a special guest on today. That's why we're kind of stalling it out this week. we weren't able to. But
Who's more special than us, man?
Right? Who is more special than us when it comes to
I
crypto?
can't
Come
think
on.
of.
But we have some great people coming up as always. If you haven't already, make sure you like and share and subscribe and smash that bell to the right. And we will see you all tomorrow at
3-ish.
Cheers.
Have a good one.